welcome back to Neon Trash, all you cyberpunks and retro nerds out there. It's your host, Tommy the Hammer, coming at you guys again with another weird-ass movie review. Tonight we've got another Takashi Miike film on deck. I'm talking about his film Yakuza Apocalypse. I know very little about this movie. I just saw it at the local store and thought, what the hell, let's give it a whirl. From what I gather, it's about Yakuza and vampires. So that sounds pretty rad. And something called Yakuza Apocalypse, you know it's going to be extreme to some regards. So you guys know this part. Check out the trailer, peep that shit. And when I get back, y'all motherfucks are going to know my opinione on Yakuza Apocalypse.
男といえばヤクザ。そんな時代があった。我が血を受け継いでヤクザヴァンパイアの道を行け。俺はヤクザだ。
Wow, what in the absolute fuck did I just watch? I gotta say, Yakuza Apocalypse has to be director Takashi Miike's most bizarre film, at least most bizarre film that I've seen up until this point. And that's actually kind of saying something, considering a lot of his work is strange, off-putting, weird, but somehow engaging. And, you know, if anyone's seen the movies like Ichi the Killer, Audition, or Zebra Man, you know that this director is not afraid to tackle any given number of subjects with his films. With this movie here, it's kind of like a mix between Power Rangers meets a vampire film meets a Yakuza film. But at the same time, it feels like director Takashi Miike has taken a note from director Robert Rodriguez's playbook, and it really feels like one of the Machete films. The characters in this movie are just batshit bonkers all over the fucking place. The film starts off kind of conventional enough. You've got this Yakuza boss that's just slaughtering people in this building with a samurai sword, and he can't be killed. They try shooting him, they try stabbing him, and he just won't die. You come to find out that he's a vampire, but he's beloved in his neighborhood. Every single person on his block loves and respects him. This part of the film feels a lot like Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas. You get a real understanding for the concept of the Yakuza and the gang mentality and how the correlation of mob bosses is different for, all these other regions across the world. So Yakuza could be attributed to the Italian mobs of, our own culture. But then there was other moments to the movie where there was some significant emotional weight. There was really a great sense to the soundtrack. If it wasn't for the soundtrack, I don't think the movie would work half as good as it does, but it really sells the film. It makes everything feel a little more serious, in the face of all the ridiculousness that's going on in Yakuza Apocalypse. So basically this Yakuza boss is stalked and hunted by this preacher with like a hat and a gun that shoots an electric bolt, and this other guy who ends up killing him. They literally decapitate him in the most gruesome way possible and shoot his partner, his bodyguard. Well, this guy wakes up, he, doesn't die, and the severed head of the Yakuza boss bites him in the neck and passes on the vampire curse. From this point on, he goes around the town infecting everyone with this vampire virus, and soon enough, everyone is a goddamn vampire except for the Yakuza gangs. For some weird-ass reason, Yakuza blood tastes like shit to vampires. And maybe this is a commentary by Miike about Yakuza. Maybe he's trying to make a greater statement about gang mentality. I don't really know. There was definitely something kind of lost in translation to me as the viewer, but that doesn't mean I didn't like the movie. I was confused. I was baffled. I was like, what is happening? I had to look up the plot online to gather my thoughts and understand this movie completely. So by the end of the film, I had a grasp on what was happening, but I was still kind of lost. And I'd have to say, that's okay. I mean, if you don't understand what's happening in Yakuza Apocalypse, give it time. This is one of those movies that I could see taking a few viewings or, reading some interpretations online and then formulating your own point of view. But this movie has got it all. You've got samurai action sequences. You've got hand-to-hand martial arts combat. You've got the gruesome revenge rape elements that are not really all that out of the realm of a Takashi Miike film. Then you've got people in weird fucking costumes. So these like strange half-human, half-animal hybrids are walking around as if it's, just normal. And then you've got his bizarre, quirky sense of humor. There was a couple of moments to this film where I was like, man, this feels like a David Lynch movie. So, I don't know, there's a lot to this film that I thought was engaging and appealing, and despite I was confused or put off by certain elements, by the end of the film, I thought it was actually a lot of fun. It kept my attention throughout its entire run span, and that's saying something. This is almost a 2-hour movie, and if you don't deliver in the batshit bonkers department with this type of subject matter, then you're gonna lose your audience. I gotta say, Takashi Miike definitely does not lose his audience for Yakuza Apocalypse. Out of 10 stars, gets a solid 6.5 or 7 out of 10.